Hello teacher, my name is Alan Kumbala. This is my video to talk about the pandemic. Yeah. Before the pandemic, he was a very athletic young man. He liked to do various things, who go with you as friends, lead a life, of knowing a new things, meeting new people, and young man who finish grades from 8 to 9. A young man who likes to enjoy life. He's not a bird about nothing at the time in May. The new waste was heard that coronavirus was a global pandemic. That's what we thought all of a sudden. We said now that we are a small country. You think the news heard something about of the first case of coronavirus. It was of a woman from Ambato, which on May 10, 2020, take laws and wait the news of a state of emergency curve. Very news about what happened. You do not suspect. What will it be like? Who was it? What is going to happen? Started to begin was nice. The fact of having class, the fact of spending time, enjoying time at home, a time of having a good time as vacation, which I personally took is that well until after we left you released that he had nothing to do. He released that not seeing you with your family, not going out, was something very hard, so little by little the methods were used that seeing one who was called with WhatsApp, Zoom, Google Meet, etc. The family who was her joining for a way and they made who's call saying hello and how are you and what are you doing. This is the topic so about the pandemic. And her since the situation at the first was very hard in Guayaquil, many people died at the meeting of pandemic. He my family in general do not get infected. We were lucky and mine. So after that we spent some interesting moments, discover new things at home as a family believing the things and the action that we had within. Thanks God we died not miss and food in her house. I have a love health. Has the most important thing at the time he liked to play with my family, but he still like everything to a certain extent. He gets tired, no longer makes you want to do your thing. Then one day make you want to do things. Then one day come when he said her going to her our grandfathers on behalf of her mother. My uncle went to pick up. He worked in the metropolitan police and who works everything that is going to pick us. He were very careful. He went with all clothes for what he washed clothes. We arrived at the grandfather's house. We clean yourselves very well for her. You know, for my grandfather is a people all, and from her after we says, "Where you going to have a good time?" He joined with your grandfathers. That is where they teach you develop the things you had, and now when you not have, then after then returns to our house. Also at the cleaning process arrived at our house until the news arrived when my father was going on trip to United States. What is a surprise with me and my brother. And not much really he knows, so he had to leave before the pandemic. Who knows? Why the airport and high in the Pertun in October. It was not a good time for my mother. My father was he went to finish care my grandfathers before leaving until they came. Since he had to go, then we say goodbye. He said bye. He wished him the best of luck. After the call from my cousin, who was in the United States, let my mother know that he was here, and it was there to my cousin sent him the news that he was saying her my cousin told my mother about visa issues, that if he dared to leave the country after spending of certain time or visas, could stop working. No, he could leave the country until my father returns. That is in a long time after that my mother made the decision and said that we don't here go. And it is like we all have an illusion that you know. So we decide to leave. He decides to leave from this. My mother told us. I don't want to take care. That her tomorrow, Jamie. Because of you, I did leave the country. So it was there. So my mother took a loan and he left the country. It was news. He talked with my relatives. He talked with herself until he left the country. That is where everything began. He was arrived or my father and my cousin who welcomed us. It was nice to see you everything new. It was nice to have a new things different than usual. Think we arrived at my cousin house here to 4 months. After that we see parks, plays, and the news and the nice illusion that we could say at the end of summer. Then after that he began to be in the fall, which he started classes we was really in high school, my brother in schools, my brother had 8 years old, and he got nice to see you everything and has positive things, always looking forward, and no backward the fact of going thought. Everything new and totally different experience, so was where he really arrived. 3 months later, it was time we left my cousin's house and went to an apartment. It was nice to see that we were better and here living in my little, but it would have been nice to see to help of a father has a head of the husband. But now it was like that sometimes he had a good time for the most part. It was not like that. I always went with a big expectation with us, not pessimistic. I always saw in the wood, even thought the thought in was not like that. After that my brother was the first to he went to presential classes. He was going to leave him also to receive since my parents were all died. So he was going to see him always happy and you could tell that he was wrong. He says the children are ever in an apartment for my brother did not carry much to go. Come home and didn't want to go outside. Since it was very cold after that my mother fell but when she saw that my brother was bad and he told her mommy don't go to work. But my mom when she saw that we want to what he was leaving, my brother and I whole spent in the house, locked up, watching movies and so on from Monday to Friday and playing video games. My mom went out on Friday and my dad on Saturday. He was watching my time that we spent with him. And that's where he thought because the young people were behaving strangely with their parents because he's having the movies and that is why since there is not much time for us. But he lived like this at the beginning. Maybe it changed with positive. Everyone in general, but there has always something in Gradcom. It is true, there was money, but just after it, we also spent a lot. The material is cheap, but the physical in the know forever. The feelings and you even feel that a little bit little. You get used to the routine still that has because that was what living her was like. I realized that he was a live worker for nothing because a cousin was turning. He had nothing or house of her own like that. He just left for the day, but well, after that we'll talk about the subject of returning to my young brother, since he was missing his childhood, passing a child to be something to think about. I told my cousin that we saw the one I got along with the most, and he said, "This is how it's at the beginning." But he was not like that. That is forever. You just had to wear use it. to not ending up alone after almost 2 weeks thinking about my mom. He said, I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of this life, of this lifeless life. I'm going to my Ecuador. There even to die is my land. So we talk about with more almost a week. And one Sunday he bought the tickets to go out on Tuesday. Very deceived. He went to the airport without fear or anything. And we arrived well and happy to be in Lowland. And that is where everything opening is happening. We arrived well at the time of leading on February 28. My grandmother says, you were reading at Benalcázar. You can continue your studies. There it was very exciting to know that we arrived and here. I am Alan Kumbal. That is my life. That is my English video.